Okay, it's fine. Let us start. So today, guys, we want to do integration by means of what? Of algebraic substitution. Yeah? All right. Okay. So as for me, I call it the U method. Ne? I call it the U method, but the actual name is called integration by means of what? Of algebraic substitution, whereby you have to substitute and make the x itself with what? Of the formula. So on this type, guys, it can also include type 1, type 2, the E type, and also the A type. Ne? So it's just a combination of everything that we're doing, but you have to make your dx, or you have to select U and make dx itself with what? Of the formula. Ne? So I just write this point that you must know. The first one, they're saying on U method you don't you never correct. Ne? Remember on the previous one that we said that we did, we're correcting, but on this method you don't have to correct. Ne? All right, okay. Number 2, they're saying you always U is always inside the bracket and you're having an exponent. So how do you see that this is your U? You're going to see what it will be having an exponent or inside the what? Inside the bracket. Ne? All right, okay. And they're also saying you make your dx the subject of the what? Of the formula. Ne? So the only difference now when you are using this method, whenever you're derivating, you're going to derive in terms of dy over dx. Remember on the previous one, we're saying f at x and then f at x what? Prime. Ne? But on this one, you're going to, it will be what? You will be having what? D over dx. Sorry, not dy over dx, it's d over dx. Ne? All right, okay. Let us do an example. So I'm given the integral of root of 1 minus 3 over 2 dx. Ne? Okay, so let's say for example I'm given the integral of this. Please stop writing, I'll give you a time to write. Okay, so I said the first thing, now you have to select your U. Since I said I call this one the U method, ne? So I have to select my U. On the previous one we're selecting f at x, ne? But on this one I have to find what? My U. Ne? And how do I get my U? I said your U is always inside the bracket and having what? An exponent. Ne? Okay, if you can change this is the same as what? I know the same as the integral of what? Of 1 minus 3 over 2 to the power 1 over 2 dx. Ne? So meaning I know my U is inside what? Inside the bracket and having what? An exponent. So what's my U? Inside the bracket, that's my U. Ne? So I have my U, which is 1. Sorry, I think I forgot to write x. Ne? It have x here. It have x. Okay, so this is 1 minus 3 over 2 x. Ne? Okay, the same thing that we're doing on the previous one. What are we supposed to do here? We are supposed to derive it. But this one, on this one, I have U, so I'll be deriving in terms of what? Du over dx. Ne? Okay. Du over dx, ne? Is equals to derivation of 1 is what? 0. And 0, and derivation of this, I'm going to have negative 3 over 2. Ne? Okay, since we said on this one we don't correct, I'm going to make my dx the same with what? Of the formula. Ne? Alright, okay. How do I make my dx sum of the formula? I can cross multiply here. Ne? This will be 2 du is equals to negative 3 dx. Ne? Okay, and then I divide with what? Divide by negative 3, I divide by negative 3. This one will cancel this one, and then I have dx is equals to the same as what? Negative 2 over 3 du. Ne? Okay, I want you to see something. I have dx which is equals to negative 2 over 3 du. Ne? Check on my original equation. I'm having what here? Dx. I'm having dx. So instead of writing dx, I can write what? I can write this. Ne? I can do that. Ne? And I also know, like this one, I also have my U. So instead of writing this part, I can also write what? U. Ne? Okay, so your equation now it becomes, instead of writing this, I can write the root of what? The root of U. Ne? Instead of writing 1 minus 3 over 2x, because I know I said U is equal to this. So instead of writing this inside the bracket, I can just write U.
Yes.
You understand it?
Yes.
Okay, and then instead of writing the x, I can write what? I can write this. Ne? Okay. negative 2 over 3 du. And then remember I said whenever you're integrating, whenever you have a constant, you have to take it outside. Né? I have a constant of this. So whenever you have integral and then it's multiplying, you have a constant, you have to take it outside the integral sign. Né? So I can take this outside the integral sign. I'm gonna have what? Negative 2 over 3, né? The integral of what? Of u du. Né? So now it makes me, I have u and I'm integrating in terms of what? Of du, and then you have to integrate what? I have to integrate this. Né? I haven't integrated this. Here I already derived, I haven't integrated. Same thing that we're doing on fx. I said whenever you correct and then you have to what? Integrate. Né? So I have this and then I can integrate this. Né? Okay. So I have negative 2 over 3. The integral, this same as what? U to the power 1 over 2 du. Né? And then let's integrate this. This same as what I have negative 2 over 3. Okay. And then you're going to say plus 1. 1 over 2 plus 1, you get what? 1 over 2 plus 1?
3 over 2.
3 over 2 divided by 3 over 2. And then to show that I've integrated plus c. Ne? So now I can substitute the value of what? Of u back. No guys, it's not difficult because I know my u is equal to what? To this. Ne? U is equal to this. So instead of writing, there's no way you can write your final answer having u because you already know about this. Ne? So instead of writing u, I can substitute this value back on what? On u. Ne? So I'm having what? Negative 2 over 3 multiplied by 1 minus 3 over 2x to the power 3 over 2. Okay, divide by 3 over 2 plus c. And then you can simplify the fraction. Remember I said whenever you have a fraction, you can simplify that. Okay, let me re-explain guys so you can understand that. Alright, okay. Let's start from the scratch. Né? I say on your method you are going to identify your u. Same thing that we're doing on fx. Né? I said how do you identify your u? It will be inside the bracket and having a what? An exponent. Né? Let's say we're given an equation like this one. I'm going to select my u and I know my u is inside the bracket and having an exponent. So this is my u. Né? I have my u which is this, which is equal to 1 over this. The same thing that we're doing after having your u, now you're going to derive it, but now I'm derivating in terms of what? Du over dx. Ne? This is the derivation, and I know from this you're not lost. Ne? We are still together. And then I've derived this, ne? And then I have to make my dx the same with what? Of the formula. Ne? Okay, so from here I have made my dx the same with what? Of the formula from here, and then now I'm here. So I just derived it and make dx the same with what? Of the formula. Ne? And then when you have dx, you have to look back on your original equation. What do you know about original equation? It have dx. So instead of writing dx, I can replace with what? With negative 2 over 3 du. Because I know dx is equal to this. Ne? So when I'm rewriting my equation, I'm gonna replace this with what? With this. Ne? Alright, okay. And what else do I also know? I know that I've selected my u as equals to this. So instead of writing the root of 1 minus 3 over x, I'm going to write what? U. Instead of writing that, I can write what? Write u. Why? What is the reason for me to write u here? I want to integrate. So on my integral side, if I'm integrating in terms of what? Of du, I must have u. There's no way I can have, let's say, x. You cannot integrate this because you are integrating in terms of what? Of du. So you must have the value of what? Of u. Remember when we're doing differentiation, whereby I said when you're derivating in terms of dx and you have y, what is your differentiation of what? It will be 1 multiplied by dy over dx. Ne? So on this one, there's no way you can derivate in terms of what? Of x, whereby you are derivating. So sorry, when you are integrating in terms of what? Of du. Ne? So you must have what? You must have u. That's why I just say instead of writing this, I just write u, and then after here I have to integrate up to that side. Still confusing? Let's try the other one.
No, continue and explain that other part.
Alright, okay. So after now I know I have negative 2 over 3 and then the root of u du. Ne? So now I'm integrating in terms of what? Of u. So now you just have to integrate your what? Your u. Ne? And I know this is what I do here. I integrated my u, and then after my final answer, it must not have u because I know u is equal to this. Same thing that we're doing on derivation. I know my u is equal to this. So instead of writing u, I can write this. I can write this back. Ne? Understood now? Okay, you can just copy this and then we can do a different one.